Libra. Okay, you got a little secret, don't you? Yeah, you do. And deep down inside, I think it's been sitting there for a long time. And maybe in some ways, it was even secret from yourself. But ultimately, you are not that bubbly, quirky ditz that needs attention and just, likes to brush your hair every single day. Like, all of those things are parts of you. Sure, you love glamour, you love beauty, male or female, it doesn't really matter. You just love that stuff, right? Venus is home now, right? She's there, sitting there in Libra, kind of giving you strength to realize that you can be beautiful and powerful at the same time. That you can be somebody who does make sure that every 3 weeks their nails are done and their hair is done, and that everything nothing is left to chance. And I think that that's kind of where this is dawning from, like this strength in you that comes from the fact that you are devoted to beauty, and you are devoted to balance, and you are devoted to diplomacy, and you are devoted to things being fair. And if there's something that you cannot stand, it's when things are not fair. And you are almost psychically connected. You are psychically connected to the balance. Universal balance, situational balance in general, what is right and what is wrong. And good and bad is based on balance and imbalance. It's not based on positive and negative. I think more than anything, you're aware that people can be imperfect. They can have their negative aspects, but ultimately, Libra, negative aspects and positive aspects are what make the whole person. I don't have to tell you this, but what is very clear is that a lot of people underestimate you because of the fact that you are beautiful and you are attractive, and you do put a lot into the visual, the aesthetics. Why? Because you realize how connected most people are to aesthetics. And in some ways you can use this to manipulate, sure, draw people in, hook them in. And if you have in the past, I think ultimately, you're probably the one that paid the biggest consequences, right? And we all learn. But that's not what this reading is about. What this reading is about is what's really hidden beneath your surface. This surface of beauty, this surface of the light show. The light show that attracts people's attention. The light show that you are proud to be a part of because of what goes into it and how much fun it is to understand what people are attracted to, what inspires people, what sort of it's not just about, in other words, it's not about getting attention. It's about why do you want people's attention? And it's that why that's really, really come out. And it's almost like this sense of, when I see this card, this Aquarius card, show the world the real you, on a full moon, there is this sense of, yeah, Libra's coming through big time right now. Not to be underdone, not to be underestimated. And it's when so many times it's almost like you're left off the adult list. You're left sitting at the kiddie table. You're kind of like given this sense of Libra can't make up their mind. Libra isn't serious enough. Libra's shallow. Libra doesn't really have much to offer besides sort of how they make me feel or how easy they are to be around. But that's really not the case. This is you getting real and finding your purpose is to create beauty through balance. And that's essentially what you're doing with your life and how you're applying it right now. And I would not be surprised if for the first time in your life, you're stepping out and making the bold move to make a statement and say something, even when maybe it could catch some backlash. Ultimately, why? Because it matters to you. It matters to you enough for you to know that it's more important than you. Be bold and make the first move. Show the world the real you. Now, what is the real you? This is a person who is capable. This is a person who's talented. This is a person who is independent. This is a person, yes, independent. For somebody who rules the house of partnership, yes, this is somebody who is independent. You are independent. You think for yourself. You do love to be in partnerships because partnership is how you learn about the world. It's got nothing to do with you needing it to feel strong or needing it to make decisions for you. No, this is how you connect with the world. You partner with it. You partner with people. You learn about what makes people tick by partnering directly with them and understanding that sense, finding that balance in them, that balancing point, that tipping point. You do it firsthand. You are that cardinal sign. You put yourself out there. You put yourself right in there, especially when it comes to making partnerships. And if you've just recently made a partnership that is a little bit in some ways a little bit risque, ultimately there is that sense of you really, look at this beautiful energy for you. There's a sense of you really being okay with that, because you are connecting to a deep part of yourself. It's almost like finding the balance within yourself in order to make that a reflection of what's on the outside. And it's almost like in some ways you could be using yourself as the sacrificial lamb, just putting yourself out there saying, I know it has to be done. I know this is that important. But ultimately this Piscean energy, meditate and contemplate. You're drawing strength from within, right? You're also learning. This is Piscean energy is that root of higher learning, of understanding beyond what's obvious, of seeing beyond what's obvious, also connecting to your psyche. I love this energy for you because it's an empowered energy that says you're about to do something. Something's about to pop off, but it's about to pop off through you. You're about to take action. You're really kind of stepping out and stepping into the spotlight. Not that you don't love the spotlight, of course you do, but it's not just about spotlight. It's you actually being the spotlight. You're putting the spotlight on something else. Not to divert from yourself, but because this is what you really believe in. Seek an expert. I think that you've gained a lot of knowledge. You aren't just working alone. You have partnered with people who know a great deal, because you don't want to get this wrong. And you've been able to humble yourself enough to know when you know things and when you don't know things, to understand, maybe I'm not an expert in this, but okay, I'll find experts and I'll figure it out. There's a sense of boldness about you right now that is committed to getting this done. You are up against something monumental. This is not simple energy. I don't think this is just something, I mean, if it is something that's just in your household, this is going to in fact affect or impact the entire household. You know what you're up against. You see the fight ahead of you, but it doesn't intimidate you. And the reason why it doesn't intimidate you is because somehow you understand and know that you're in the right, you're correct. And I can almost confirm that right now, that you are the one. But it's almost like I said, putting yourself out there as a sacrificial lamb, trying to set an example for how to behave, and putting yourself out there against these insurmountable odds to show people, hey, be brave like me, or you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Or ultimately, show people that even though something seems like it's gonna, just kick your ass and put you down, you still have to stick up to it. You still have to stand up to it. That anything in this world can be called out and stood up to. Anything. This is about looking forward into the future and about the kind of future that you want to see. If you have children, it's about the kind of future you want to see for your children. It's about preparing and paving this way for the future by what you can do right now. Spread the light, Libra. Look at how beautiful this energy is. And this is really that sense of being the optimist and but it's almost like an optimistic warrior. It's like going on a crusade in order to make the world better, make things better. I listen, I have to come back to this Aquarian energy. This is really about thinking outside of yourself. You are involved in and engaged in something that is so much more than you. And ultimately, I have to say, there has been a lot of stops and starts. I think there's a lot of danger. There's risk here. Dare to be happy. Dare to be happy in the relationship that you're in the love that you have, but also dare to be happy within in and of yourself, even if you are, it almost feels like there will be somebody to lift you up, that you do have a strong partnership that is supporting you, that you will be supported. But ultimately, dare to be happy because you're you out loud. You're no longer suppressing your stronger self. You're no longer suppressing that part of you that may get or run into disapproval. You're no longer questioning yourself or confused. You have a wonderful sense of purpose about you. Stop. There's danger, of course. And I think, like I said, like you have two cards here, you know what you're up against. And what I love about both cards is that you can clearly see, they clearly understand what they're up against. So you know what you're up against. And you know that it is out to get you. It's not there, and it's not going to be easy. But ultimately, it's a sense of, I think that you understand that timing has a lot to do with this. If you can't jump in right now, it doesn't matter because you're right there. You're ready to jump in. You're ready to jump in when the water's clear. But also there is a sense of, this is actually, you can bring this down a lot easier than you thought, right? What was David's way of defeating Goliath? David's way of defeating Goliath was a rock right there. That's what it was. He just, a slingshot, bam, that's all it was. It's knowing where to hit it. It's knowing where to hit it and when to hit it. And I think that that's going to be your biggest challenge, because this is not something that can't come down. This is something that absolutely has a weak point, and it's basically figuring out what that weak point is. Blow off some steam. You've been frustrated lately, a great deal, because there has been something that has put some, like a chink in your chain. It's been something that's been distracting you from your purpose. It's been frustrating. There's something here that's absolutely frustrating you. And maybe it's just that you have to pause, though. That's the truth. This pause really was more about, was more about firming up your beliefs than it was about anything else. It was not about trying to distract you or discourage you from moving forward. It was about challenging you for this to stick with this, and for this to not just be a whim, for this to be something that you're kind of almost absolutely set on, right? And that you won't back down from. It's almost like it's like building you up. It's building you up so that you have enough energy to carry yourself forward. So if you've experienced a kind of a stall or a stop lately, believe me when I say that's really just to firm up your conviction. That's all it was. There is definitely some sort of conflict here. It's almost like looking at insurmountable odds or your challenges. Somebody who is challenged, either your femininity is challenged, or you are a woman that is challenged, or this could be a person in your life, this person who had the odds stacked against them, and it could very well be you as well. But there is just this sense of, that's kind of what called you to action, is these unfair odds, these unfair obstacles stacked against somebody singular. I feel like there's a great deal of almost stress or burden that has been placed on you because of, once again, star card, star energy, Aquarius energy, your goals and your ideals. It's like your ideals have placed this burden on you. And what are the ideals? Well, the ideals are that you think everybody should be treated fairly. That's what the ideals are. There's really no way to get around that. There's that sense of, oh my God, it's just frustrated you so much that this is happening, or that this could happen. And this is not something that you are willing to let go of. And I love the fact that, because it's true, I'm a Libra rising, and I know that there is a challenge to sort of finish something. There always is a challenge to finish something. There's always a sense of sort of either losing your attention span or quitting right in the middle. And this is really, this pause was almost designed to make you angry and to make you insist, to make you so sure of yourself that there's no way that you're ever going to stop. And there's a sense of, in some ways, you being tested to try to like make what you desire change, to try to make your, just testing your desires, seeing if they'll bend, seeing if they'll break, seeing how much energy you'll put into really bringing this to fruition. So this is the time more than ever to not give up and to keep insisting, Libra. Let's go into the main reading. So first we have, unknown. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of questions. And I think that you, even though you started out this journey or this goal, it's like, even though you started out with a great deal of passion for it, ultimately there is this sense of, but I don't know which direction to go. I don't know what I'm doing here. I just know that I have to be here. And that's fine. That's awesome. And if people are trying to down you or diss you for that, fuck them. Because it's almost like you becoming the face for a movement, or taking on this role, taking on this mantle of being the one that is out in front. But ultimately there is a sense of, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in uncertainty, and it was undecided. You weren't sure of how it was going to come. This is love. This is romance. But this is also, if you can, because this is your energy, this is ideals. So this is like a more or less your ideals. It's almost like your ideals being somehow that mask that you wear, not to pretend, but to encourage you and to keep you going. But there is definitely like destiny here. This is what you were meant to do, is what I'm saying. It was your calling, even though it's something new, something that you never got into before. It's something that you always felt a really deep passion for, connected to, drawn to, somehow know your worth. This could be one of two things. So this is Aries energy. It could be something that stinks, something that's trying to cover up its stench, and recognizing that, realizing it, and calling it out on its shit, right? 1717, I just saw that. Holy shit. That's just like divine counterparts, divine purpose, divine path. And it's also hard work. Keep working. Ultimately, this is also a sense of like, standing by who you are, even if you are imperfect. But ultimately, I feel like there's this sense of like, not covering yourself up anymore, not hiding who you are. Whether that's more difficult than you like the world to know, it doesn't really matter. It's almost like, I would say this, in this card for this reading, it's almost like, Libra, you're putting up a stink. And it even if it attracts negative feedback, it doesn't matter. You're putting up a stink. Watch your words. This is Gemini energy. This is being very particular with how you communicate or who you communicate with. This is also a sense of maybe somebody in your life that likes to speak up or speak out, but is very good at choosing the words that they speak. Gemini energy, this is communication one-on-one, being in the present time, in the here and now, allowing yourself to focus on the here and now and be centered here instead of worried about the future, or even worried about the past. Watch your words. It's almost like you've had to sort of play the parrot game of saying what people want to hear. Be generous of spirit, saying what needs to be said in order to gain people's approval, or, oh, I understand. This is you literally like almost like drumming up support for yourself in a sense. It's like almost campaigning for yourself, if you will, Libra. That's kind of what this is. Or campaigning for what you believe in, like finding the words that put you into that leadership position and have people take you seriously. That's what this is, and almost speaking with authority. That's what it's saying. Bring a gentle touch and overcome any obstacle. This is compassion. It's almost like your compassion is driving you. no matter what, it's like, I feel like you're really trying to defend somebody who can't defend themselves. I keep coming back to that. But this is also, there's tenderness and there's gentleness here. So in other words, there's like, it's like you really, it's like you are morally aligned. That's what it is. You are completely aligned with this sense of morality. And I really love this energy for you. I think it's absolutely extraordinary. This is also a sense of, this is Virgo energy and Taurus energy. So establishing yourself and making a practical plan. Not just, in other words, not just conceptualizing, but actually getting the hard work done. Like laying the groundwork, laying the foundation, moving forward, setting up the accounts, setting up the financing, scheduling meetings, managing this whole thing, like literally taking the whole thing under your control and carrying it forward, even the more tedious aspects that you would normally shy away from and not like have any concern about. That's not the case, Libra, at all. You are concerned with this whole process. And then last but not least, we have, oh yeah, embrace the in-between. No, you're choosing sides and a rebirth is assured. So this is a sense of like, in some ways, this is a sense of being stuck, but I think ultimately what this is making a decision and deciding and sticking to your convictions. That's what this is. Yeah, there is a sense of surprising people. Like them not really seeing that you have, because this is your energy, right? But this is that sense of imbalance or impracticality. You're standing out. You're allowing yourself to stand out and not fit in and to embrace the unexpected this time around. Wow, something is extremely important to you. That's all I can say. A rebirth is assured. I do see it coming. You're ready. You're so prepared. Embrace the in-between. You're also getting really fucking frustrated. And we got this in the other set of cards too, right? Really frustrated that you have to wait and have to pause and that everything about you is not being recognized or that your idea is not being like something, you're in a pause right now and it's frustrating you. Say thank you for that say thank you for that frustration, because honestly, the frustration is building up that energy inside of you that's going to be the momentum to push you freaking forward and just keep like pedal to the metal. Let's go into tarot. The extended link is below. Please do join me over there. Also, that includes your romance spread as well. But before you do, please do click subscribe and help the channel grow. You can also follow me on Instagram, born_without_boundaries, where I do daily tarot card readings for your enjoyment. Then also, of course, there's the Vimeo content, and there's so many hundreds of videos dedicated specifically to Libra that you can scroll through. And of course, every rental is a contribution that helps Born Without Boundaries exist and succeed. So let's get into your spirit guide and angel messages. Let's see. Direct messages directly from your angels, what they need and want you to know about this circumstance or situation that you're in right now. Okay, 100%. They're wanting you to know that without a question, without a doubt, this is your destiny. I know that sounds like, oh, this is your destiny. It is your destiny. It's almost like partially, or at least you can feel it inside of yourself, it's partially what you were put on this earth for. It is that important. It is your alignment. It's how you were structured. Your destiny is to blossom, to shine, to transform to ever greater light. So your destiny is not to stay in obscurity or to continue on in the background. That is not your destiny. It is absolutely not. So if you have been stuck in this holding pattern, that is not what you were meant for, and that's spirit confirming that for you. Do it now also popped out. Don't put it off any longer. Have courage. Listen to your intuition, for it is the guiding voice of your soul. I feel like you can feel this rumbling deep inside your belly, Libra, that like a certainty of purpose. Even if it doesn't make any sense, there is, this is your time. This is your time. Start chipping away and doing all that you can now. You don't have to completely stop. This is, put yourself out there, put yourself out on the limb. I mean, even these little penguins are right out there on that limb, like understanding what they're up against. They are up against a shitstorm, but they're still there. Now let's go to the rest of the cards. Archangel Michael is here. So you have the strongest and most fiercest warrior in the Archangel Kingdom protecting you. This path is now clear. I have removed all obstacles in your way. You can move forward now with ease and confidence. You will achieve what your heart desires. So you got some angelic intervention, first of all, that's really going to help you out and remove the obstacles and the dangers. But you've also got there removing those obstacles in your head so that you have no doubt. And if this pause was a way of enforcing that in you, then that's what it was for, and it worked. Achievement. Take a little time to reflect on what you have achieved to date. It is often easy to forget where you started from and how far you've come. Honor and be grateful for this extraordinary journey that is your life. So you have really, hold on. I'm sorry. You have really achieved great things already. And maybe a sense of, something that a place to meditate is to recognize where you've come from and all that you have achieved. It's really important right now so that you don't let you so that your anger stays a force of momentum and motivation instead of starts eating away at you. Divine intervention. Oh, you're getting some serious help. You may feel frustrated because something stalls or comes to a standstill. Oh, it's just like they listen all the time. I kid you not. It is divine intervention at work. When the timing is in perfect harmony, all will come to fruition. So it's like things don't just have to be ready on your side. Things have to be ready on both sides, and the angels are preparing that for you. Imagine. Clearly visualize the life you want. This is important now because the angels are writing it down. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. So this is for you, the life that you want and the world that you want to live in. Let's go to tarot, get into the nitty-gritty. I'll see you guys. The link is below.